Hello, I'm Giorgio Malusa. Today I want to talk to you about something I see very often in my experience of over 30 years with boats and campers. How electrical problems really arise. Many people think that a failure happens by chance. The battery doesn't hold a charge, the charger stops working, the fuse blows, and people immediately rush to replace what seems to be faulty. In reality, almost always behind it there is a set of factors, and often the problem has been there for a long time before it even becomes apparent. An important concept to understand is that it works doesn't mean it works well. A system can seem perfect, lights on, the refrigerator running, instruments showing regular values, but if you measure the voltages, the currents, and observe the batteries, you'll find that many times the system is working at its limit. Let me give you a concrete example. A cruising boat with old AGM batteries. During the day everything works, but as soon as you turn on the lights and the pumps together, the batteries drop quickly and the inverter signals an intermittent overload. At first glance everything seemed okay, but the system was already suffering without anyone noticing. What I see most often depends on three major factors. The first is the actual use of the vehicle. Many systems are designed for occasional use, maybe for the weekend. But if you live on board or take long cruises, the actual loads exceed expectations. LED lights, pumps, refrigerator, inverters for all kinds of charging. In short, everything can overload the batteries. Let me give you a real example. A boat owner copied the system of a friend which was designed for short-term use. The result? Dead batteries by midday, blown fuses, constant stress on regulators and inverters. The second factor is the choice of components. A battery that's too small, a regulator that's not compatible with the batteries, solar panels added without considering the alternator and wiring. And all of this creates imbalances. Another concrete example. A client had installed a LiFePO4 battery on a system designed for AGM. The battery never reached a full charge, the regulator was always at its limit, and the inverter was signaling irregular voltages. Finally, the third factor is related to wiring and maintenance. Undersized or oxidized cables, loose terminals, insufficient grounding, small things that become big problems over time. I've seen new boats and campers with perfect batteries and chargers in order, but with voltage drop problems caused by oxidized terminals or poorly tightened wiring. To prevent problems before they become serious failures, it's essential to observe and measure. Don't wait for the fuse to blow or for the battery to completely run out. Record voltages and currents at different times of the day. Check for signs like flickering lights, blown fuses, or instruments showing strange readings, and keep a small log of the actual consumption. All of this allows you to understand beforehand what is happening. An important piece of advice: before adding components or replacing batteries, always ask yourself if you're solving the real problem or just a temporary symptom. On my website, you can find in-depth information with real-life examples, diagrams, and specific case studies. And if you'd like, we can analyze your specific system together through a personalized online consultation. That way, we can review the numbers, measurements, and concrete solutions together.